Cape Town, we had just 3 events left, then just 2 as we raced into East London. And now we're back at Kyalami for the final round of the Westbank Super Series. Welcome to the Bridgestone production cars.
In this show, we come back to where it all started, Kyalami, for the final shootout. As it stands, no champion's been decided in Class T or Class A yet. It's been a demanding year on the cars and the drivers, but more importantly for the back row boys trying to keep the machines on the grid and competitive. So it's down to this: who wants it more and who will be wearing the #1 plate come next year?
For all the information on the Westbank Super Series, log on to our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za and stay in the loop.
Ford versus GTI is what we've seen all season, and Gary Fumato uncustomarily down in 4th place behind his teammate Michael van Rooyen.
The youngster Gennaro Bonafini, consistency has been the rule of thumb for him the whole season.
Graham Nathan puts it on pole and 10th overall in the entire category. Well done to him.
Van Rooyen, then Fumato next to each other.
And we go down to Heinz Berzer, a big resurgence from the Mazda, and Ibrahim Levy.
Next, it's Kieran Kwambi, disappointing, and then Sean Duminy.
Zam Essa and George Smallberger in the second of the Mazdas.
Once again, you've stuck it on pole, Graham. You must be absolutely delighted.
I'm very, very pleased. My team has done a superb amount of work. I can't thank the guys enough. Dean, Stephen, Jay, Gerald, everybody that gets involved. Peter Kaedi, oh, the list is endless. The guys have just been superb. Indy Oil for all the backing with regards to sponsorship. But we did a really good job yesterday. We came out there. I don't know if the Fords had a problem or if they didn't. We didn't. We took it. The car's on pole. We've done a little bit more work last night to make it even better.
4th in qualifying. It's probably not where you wanted to be. You've had some problems with the car, but you're going to go for it. You either go large or you go home.
Oh, look, in this case, exactly. You've just got to go for it and try and put as many points as you can in the bag and tally them up at the end of the day. You know, we have an outside shot, a long one at that. So, like I say, the heat's going to be a big factor today, I think, to keep the cars cool. We saw it yesterday in practice, 2-3 laps, and we were really battling with the heat. And of course, the tyres, as usual. You know, we've seen some issues with the tyres, and in this heat, they are going to be a problem. So, you know, we'll go out there, race as hard as we can, and you know, see where we are at the end of the day.
Anthony Taylor took it very easy. All he had to do was out-qualify his teammate, and that's what he did to take the Class A championship before the racing even started.
Another man to watch out for was this man, Rehe Ruud, very quick all weekend.
And Groenewald putting it on pole alongside Rehe Ruud. That'll be the front row of the Class A's. And a real ding-dong expected.
Looks like the championship's going to be handed for Johan Fourie to Anthony Taylor.
Melville Priest will be alongside the first of the Engine Extreme Audis of Michael Stevens.
And then Chopsapuka looked also very quick, and then Marco Acuna.
Last row, Davy Olivier and Paulo de Cunha in the second of the Tubular Technicians.
Anthony Taylor, you're 4th on the grid at the moment. Is it going to be about keeping it tidy until the championship's in the bag before the red mist comes down?
Look, I need a point, so I just want to wrap the championship up, and then once we've got that in the bag, we'll see what happens after that.
How are the cars going? I mean, a bit far back on the grid. It's very unlike you.
Yeah, it is. I think the weight of the car now, at maximum weight with the small restrictor and the heat of the day, certainly has played a big role in our performance.
Race 1, 6 laps of action about to go. The sprint race. And it's Grunewald alongside Rechard Roots. Who's going to get the drop down towards turn number 1? Remember, Rechard Roots is on the right line, but it's a good start there from Grunewald. I think he might have the drop. He's got ahead of Rechard Roots, and that's what he needed to do.
BMW's in the mix there as well. Watch out, Melville Priest. Got a thing to prove, no doubt, but Rechard Roots is on fire at the moment.
Speaking of fire, where are you going, big guy? Leaving a little bit late on the brakes there, getting it sideways. Those Bridgestones weren't quite up to temperature just yet. And that's going to put that Nissan right into the clutches. And at the back end, you can see Class T has just started, and they're going to start closing down on him.
On board right now, Michael Stephen in the Engine Extreme Audi, and just in front of him, it's, of course, Johan Free in the other Audi. And Melville Priest looks like just on the inside.
Yeah, it looks like Faree's going to try something going into Sunset. He looks up the inside there, can't quite make it stick. It's Afrox BMW's just ahead of him, both of them. And, of course, the Rough Rider BMW. This is Michael Stephen's view into Clubhouse Corner. Closes right on the back end of Faree.
The one thing that I've always loved about this onboard shot with Stephen is the sound of that car.
It's an amazing sound. Of course, the Audi Quattros are going to have a little bit of work to do here. They're not necessarily the quickest cars around Kyalami. It normally goes to either Subarus, or of course the BMWs, the rear-wheel drive. And here we go, replay. Having a look. This is a big move up the inside. Oh, a little tap there, and goodbye. Getting forced wide, that is Marco Acuna being tapped out, and actually was Johan Faree that he came together with. He comes back onto the track, but right at the back. This is Class T, and it's Graham Nathan. He has gone to the front end where he needs to be. Remember that he's got his stablemate, Gennaro Bonafide, right on his tail. Formato's outgunned Van Rooyen, and he's moved up into third.
Yeah, there's going to be a great tussle out here for these boys, particularly the Fords, and Formato's got somebody to prove today. He did say they're just going to go out there and just try the very, very best. Graham Nathan into the bowl, followed by Gennaro Bonafide, and then the first of those Fords. And I'll tell you what, Graham Nathan is still smarting. Hey, Greg.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of worry in his hand. He had 25-point buffer. He's only got 17 now. But the buffer that he's going to enjoy going into 13 is Gennaro Bonafide between himself and the Fords. If you just keep it all together, remember he was 10th quickest overall in qualifying. He outdid both the Nissan 350Z and the third Subaru. So it's got some pace here, that GTI. Hopefully it hangs on until the end of the race.
On shot right now, focusing on Johan Faree. There's the two Afrox BMWs. They've been superlative the entire season.
We go up towards turn 3. Very difficult corner. Double left-hander. Onto the brakes, into second gear, and out of there, absolutely buried. Michael Stephen closes up on Faree. A nice little battle here between the two Audis, and I think Faree might have to go defensive, which is going to allow the BMs to get away from him.
Yeah, he's been looking good, and he's closed that gap up. Faree knows he's there. Make no bones about that. He really knows he's there. Out of Sunset, on the way into Club. Gets it all a little bit squirrely at the moment. But this is the pressure that Michael Stevens is throwing. Oh, he has a look on the outside. Faree closes the door. Two BMWs just ahead of him at the moment. But no change there. Looking for a way past is Michael Stephen. Look at that shot.
Side by side, going into the S's. As soon as you're going to end up in tears. Michael Stephen stays strong, though. Amazing driving there from Michael Stephen. He's still staying strong. Can he keep on the back end and maybe just get through? We'll have to wait and see as they come up towards West Bank Corner. They are still side by side. That's 3 corners. They've gone side by side. They're coming into their 4th one now. And still some rubbing there. But it's still Michael Stephen on the inside. He's got the correct line. He forces. Oh, that's a wily little move there from Stephen. And Chop Sabuka goes with him. That's great driving from the engine pair, and they've outdone the man in the Indy Oil Audi, and Johnny Fury's not going to be happy about that.
No, he's not. I mean, what he would have needed was a wingman, but he doesn't have that. The two boys, Chops the big. Oh, he comes back at him. Look at this. Trying to go around the outside. Chops is nobody's mugger at the moment, and impressively so, he's been quick all weekend, Chops Sabuka. Watch him. I think he's a dark horse.
Yeah, well, he could be. He's definitely a dark horse. There's no doubt about that. But I'll tell you something. Chops has got some pace late in the season. Here comes Faree. Comes straight back at him. Going into the final corner. Faree's got the inside line. Chops has to give way. It's now an Indy Oil sandwich between those two Engine Extreme Audis.
They're just blowing away in the front of the two BMWs. Anthony Taylor and Melville Priest are not getting involved with what's going on behind him. Focus right now, excuse the pun, on the Class T. Here come the Fords.
Yeah, the Fords are right there, and they're definitely focused. There's no doubt about it. Just in the background, Kieran Kwame trying to close down. He wants to help out as well. It'll be great to see the 3 GTIs battling with these 2 Fords. Gennaro Bonafide going through the fastest part of the circuit. You see, just comes off slightly, back on the power, heading up towards turn 3. He hasn't been able to get onto the back end of Graham Nathan, but he's doing the perfect job. Tail gonna roll here, and I'm sure that Graham's gonna be happy with the job that he's done so far.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Greg. I mean, it's all part of a team effort as well. Nobody's going to be denying Graham Nathan the fact that he's winning, but the whole stable's doing well. The only one missing at the moment is Kieran Kwame.
Not too far off, though. He's just behind that second Ford as we go back to Class A. And West Bank Corner is where it all happened last time. This time Chops closes up, but he can't get on the inside because he doesn't have the blocking roll that was done by Michael Stephen the previous lap they went through.
Where did that happen?
Going up to West Bank, just bombed him on the inside, and there was Faree. A unfortunately being outdone by both of these engine extreme Audis. Michael Stephen now has his sights set on those two BMWs, but he has to worry about the rearview mirror because look how close it gets between Chops. Oh, a touch! Chops touches the India Oil Audi and goes wide. Very similar to what we saw between Formato and Graham Nathan, but this time it was two Audis going into the bowl.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, he's only going to be able to point fingers at himself on that one. I think that was a really bad mistake he made there.
Just a little bit too close, that's all it was. Bernard now has probably got the only opportunity he'll have of catching Chops Sapuka. Now there's a bit of damage on that car. The two GTIs go through, then the two Fords. There's Kiram Kwambi. There's the third Ford, Sean Domini, under pressure from Essa. In fact, that's not Essa, it's Levy. It's Ibrahim Levy making a welcome return for the final round. Very similar style car and, of course, colours to what Essa runs. But great to have Levy back in. And look how good he's going. He goes on the inside of Germany. They come side by side across the line.
Yeah, I mean, there's an awesome mix in here as well. And they're all the big players are in here. I mean, Dumini, Kwambi. I mean, if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen in that group. Watch out, look at Levy. All over Sean Dumini at the moment. He knows he's there. Kieran Kwambi.
Dude, there's a problem. Formato's blown.
Formato's blown it.
Formato has blown his engine coming up towards turn 3. He pulls onto the side. He's going to allow the cars to go through, I'm sure, before he decides to pull that car onto the sideline. That is massive for the championship. Graham Nathan, the next time you come past this corner, and probably past the pits, because I'm sure he'll pull in here, just in front of the old pit building, that'll be the end of the championship, and Graham Nathan will have sealed it here in this first race.
Formato is just probably got just a grin on his face going, yeah, you know what, it just had to happen, didn't it? It just had to happen.
Can't believe it's happened here. Final race of the season. Formato has gone down to the wire. It's been a ding-dong between the two of them, but that's it. It's all over. Graham Nathan will take the victory, or will he? But Bonafide's closing up on him on the final lap, and I think he might even let him through. No, I don't think he will. I think Nathan will fight hammer and tongs until the end.
Well, it's all about the second place right now. I mean, Formato's out of this equation. Gennaro Bonafide could have this all wrapped up, and what a great team effort that will be from Nathan Sport.
You know, he's got a bit of work to do. He's got to go well in the second race. He's got to go well in the third race, but there is an opportunity. However, at Class A and the front end, the sharp end of the field, as Greg Ryan likes to call it, it's the Tim Can Subaru taking the victory, only just ahead of Richard Roots. But nonetheless, a victory is a victory, and Henry Groenewald is the man they all had to beat. Flag to flag for Groenewald and the Sassel Timken Subaru.
I did say that Roots was actually fast all weekend. Right now, here comes the champion-elect right now. Graham Nathan's going to win it hands down. He's going to wear that number plate on his car next year. Closely followed, Gennaro Bonafide. He's had a great season, and he should have got Rookie of the Year, in my opinion.
Well, he comes across the line, and Nathan will take the victory and the championship. Bonafide now sets his sights on possibly scoring a 1-2 for the GTIs, Volkswagen, and Nathan's Motorsport. An amazing race. This is the first one. We've still got 2 to go.
Wilson in part for Mayor. Yeah, look how happy he is.
So there's confirmation. Henny Groenewald takes Class A ahead of Richard Roots. Taylor and Michael Stephen ahead of Melville Priest in 5th.
All right, let's have a look at the rest of the lineup as it stands. Johan Ferrari, Indy Oil Audi, Davy Olivier, Marco de Cunha, and Paulo de Cunha, and then Richard Pinot way at the back.
In Class T, a victory for Graham Nathan just moves him that much closer to the title. Bonafide in second place, now with a chance of cementing second place in the championship, because Formato did not finish.
Yeah, and of course you won't be allowed to actually start the second race. There's Levy, Boza, Madek, Smallberger, and Essa right at the back.
We're back at Kyalami, and of course a great race win for you. You've shown some brilliance throughout the entire season, got the right package set up, the car working well for you.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think, and that's been our concern this year, is we really had a roller coaster ride in up and down. You know, we've proved we've got the performance in the car. We just haven't been consistent, and it's an area that we're going to fix for next year. But really happy for the team. You know, after Cape Town, especially to come back here and be competitive, put it on pole, and at least walk away with one race win.
Race 2 and ready to rock and roll down towards turn number 1. You can see the reverse grid in action here, and it's Johan Ferrari on pole alongside him, Taylor. This is an awesome start. Look at Michael Stephen already starting to look very dangerous as they go through 3 abreast into turn 1. Well done, Melville Priest, for backing out of that one.
Yeah, well done indeed. You get top marks for that, my son.
Into turn 3, and Stephen resumes his battle with Ferrari. This is what we saw earlier on. Can Michael Stephen find a way past? He managed to muscle his way ahead of Ferrari, but this time Ferrari is not going to make it easy for him. Look at how this Audi gets sideways out of turn number 3 and onto the old back straight.
You know, I told you to watch Chops Sapuka. Do you realise he actually set the fastest lap in the first race?
It's amazing how Chops is going around, and as I said, late season pace from him is awesome to see. Oh, a little tap there between the stablemates. Roots is not taking anything for granted here. He tries to go on the inside of Taylor. Taylor closes the door. Man, Michael Stephen was good on the brakes. How did he miss Richard Roots? I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
Oh, I don't think it would have been a big shunt. Anyway, look at this. On the inside goes Kenny Kruneveld. Where did he come from? That was brilliant.
Kruneveld with a big move up the inside there as you saw them running wide. Class T comes through. Clubhouse. Bonafide looking very good, but at the front end it is Ibrahim Levy. Then we've got Germany. Behind Germany comes Kieran Kwambi. Kwambi looks so good. Interval tires in transit man, just ahead of Michael van Rooyen. So it's GTI forward, GTI forward, GTI, and then a Mazda.
Well, let's hope that Sean Dumini's got brakes, because there have been occasions in the race throughout the entire season that they just are not there.
Down into braking markers now for Class A. This is the Super Bowl. It is the Afrox BMW bridge they go under, and it's Afrox BMW in second place behind Johan Fourie. Johnny Fury, I think, is going to be worried about the fact that he's got the probably newly crowned champion by the end of today, although he only had to do qualifying to get it sorted out. But Taylor wants more victories. He wants to just show these guys how good he is and why he's now got that #1 plate.
Record Ruud's having an absolutely great race as well. It's been quick all weekend, as I said earlier on. Oh, this is brilliant. Look at that. Now we're back to T-Class as well. Sean Dumini leads them out. Kwame looking on the inside. Levy's there in the mix. But oh, he's got chaos. Chaos.
5 abreast, 4 abreast, 5 abreast into 13, 4 into 12, and now they come down to 14. Absolutely amazing stuff. Levy runs one. Bonafide sneaks through. Bonafide hasn't been touched, hasn't been bumped or roped, and he's going to
Levy. There's Levy.
Oh, Levy's car is completely
Kwambi's
wrecked.
done.
Kwambi's down as well. So just chaos, as you said, Steve, going into 14. Yellow flags waving frantically, and you can see battle-scarred cars coming out of 14, going back into turn 1. Kieran Kwambi's GTI's out. Levy's GTI's out. As I said, the only man who didn't get any scathing there was Bonafide. Here we go on the line. There's the little tap. Watch for the tap now, coming into the final corner. Germany goes wide. There we go on the inside. Watch out for Ford coming through Van Rooyen. Then we got Kwambi. Kwambi gets a little nudge, helps himself out. There goes Van Rooyen, and Bonafide goes with him.
Unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, I'm dying to see the state of Dumini's car in there, because he got nailed left and right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, hello.
Oh, no, Acuna gets it wrong again. Marco really battling with that 350Z this weekend. We saw him run wide after a little tap between himself and Fourie in the first race. Now in the second race, all on his own, spinning out at the Super Bowl.
Interesting for the next season as well. Yes, we're still going to have Nissans, but there won't be 350s.
Nice little 370s coming along, and I know the development on those cars is really looking good. Now we go back to Class T. So the chaos has been sorted out, or has it? Now they come through 13, down to 14. Berza is very defensive. He just holds that inside line. Gennaro Bonafide has to try and win this. They would have explained to him, with Gary Formato being out of the race and not making the second sprint race, there's a possibility of Volkswagen scoring 1 and 2 in Class D. So Gennaro is going to go all out to try and take this victory.
And as it stands, the car may be damaged enough, but we don't know if it's going to be able to come back for the main theme race.
Picking up on the inside there, look at how Berza's fighting the wheel on that Mazda. The Mazda's also found a lot of late-season race pace, which is fantastic to see and always bodes well for next season. He's going to be there. There's a move from Gennaro. He's gone on the inside. Berza gives him a lot of room. That's great driving from Hans Berza, but Berza maintains. He's got to worry about the man behind him. Here comes Dumini. The damage on that car doesn't seem to be too bad if he's able to run at the pace that Bonafide's running at.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, because he really did catch a big cloud as well. Oh, no, hang on a second. Look at that car more closely, and you'll see there's tons of damage on it.
Oh, the back end is damaged. The front's not too bad. It's just a back bump, and I'm sure that'll probably either peel off, or he's going to have to worry about a black and white from the COC, just in case there's a problem on that car. But now they come through, and look at how Bonafide is pushing. Man, he's going so well. Germany goes on the inside. He's all over the mirrors, and I think Bonafide must be worried about the fact that there is an ST Focus on his tail.
Well, more to the point that Sean Dumini is driving it.
And they come up towards West Bank corner, and side-by-side action here. Mazda versus GTI. Who's going to have what it takes on the brakes? Oh, we're going to get a Ford on the outside as well, so there'll be 3 abreast into West Bank corner. Bonafide hangs on around the outside. That is fantastic driving. Dumini goes inside. There are 3 abreast coming out of West Bank. That is amazing stuff.
Fantastic. And of course, we had a little shot there of Michael van Rooyen, not going his own way at the moment. This could turn ugly. Bonafide's putting Hans Berza under lots of pressure, but of course, that's all coming from Sean Dumini as well. Gennaro Bonafide trying to keep it nice and smooth as he does so. He's still chasing down the Mazda, but he knows, well, there's my point. Here it comes.
Dumini on the inside, just before 13. Good driving there from Sean Dumini. He just got ahead. Got better drive out of the ball, but here comes Bonafide straight back at him. Can he get through? No, he can't. Wasn't close enough to get him on the brakes, but he is definitely close enough to give that bumper another little nudge. And I think Germany will be looking in his rear mirrors going, oh yeah, here we go again.
Yeah, just at the background there, of course, we've got Levy that we're missing, and of course, Kwambi's out of this equation right now. So, you're quite right. Gennaro Bonifatti has got to put more pressure on Hans Jose. He needs the win.
He's got to get past Germany first, but back to the front. Ferrari hangs on, just ahead of Rechard Ruetz. Ruetz, as you mentioned earlier, Steve, looking so good this weekend. Really found some good pace in that BMW, but he's got to find a way past the outgoing champion.
Yeah,
Johan Ferrari is not going to make it easy for him.
No, he won't. And of course, when he gets a sniff out there, and he's proved this time and time again, Ferrari's a hard one to crack, particularly when he's in the lead. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, no. Can you believe it? Is that a motor? Is that Ferrari's motor? Yes, it is.
Commentator's curse. Thanks, Steve. To West Bank corner, and Ferrari's engine is gone. That's a big pity. That's not the way Johan Ferrari wanted to finish the 2010 season, but it looks like he's going to have to park that car. There goes the Aprox BMW around his outside. Chop Sapuka in a good battle there. It looks like with one of the Subarus. Is that Henny Kroenewald on his inside? Yes, it is. So Kroenewald going at it with Chop Sapuka. And Steven. Oh, man, Michael Steven has had one of the best races of his season here at Kyalami, and he's kept the best to last.
And why does that surprise you?
He just goes so well all around the country. Can he find a way past that BMW? Can the Subaru get ahead of Chop Sapuka? Not the way Chops is driving at the moment. Henny, you're going to have to go very, very hard to get past Chops. And Chops is going just as hard and a bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit of dirt as well.
Yeah, Chops, he's got it all flat out, and he's taking no prisoners. The car is working. Where they found this package, and I think it was 2 races ago, all of a sudden on the pace, now we're getting the results. I said to Chop Sapuka, wouldn't you want the season to be longer? And he said, definitely, Steve, definitely.
Can you imagine if he had about 2 more races? He'd be right up there. So it's Chop Sapuka. Quattro versus all-wheel drive of Henny Kroenewald. Michael van Rooyen, though, has gone nothing wrong. He's got to the front end, stayed out of all the trouble, and now he has to worry about these boys. This is the battle for second. And I think Gennaro Bonifatti might be thinking to himself, I need to get up there. I've got to get past these 2. I cannot let the Mazda and the Ford beat me here today, because otherwise it's going to cost me in points.
Yeah, I don't know what's going through Michael van Rooyen's mind as well. Let me just stay ahead of this, because the potential here, anything could happen right now with these 4.
A little bit of an inside line there from both the Mazda and the GTI. Runs a bit wide. Tries to keep it all together now. Settling the car up for turn 3, double left-hander. This is where Gennaro is very good. If Germany makes one mistake, Gennaro's going to sneak through the inside, but he has that line covered. Good driving from both of those guys. Enough room to play and enough room just to be menacing, to have those boys in your rearview mirror going, I can find a way somewhere. I know there's a chink in the armor.
You've also got to make mention of the fact that Heinz is driving a superb race, and also we mentioned earlier on as well that the package that they've found as well, not quite on George Smallberger's, but certainly on Heinz Bose, he's going to be relishing the fact that the next season could be really good for Mazda.
Well, he's got to have a look at that, because if Mazda's staying with them, which I hope they are, it is definitely an opportunity for them to be right up there and in the mix for this title. So it won't only be GTIs and Fords, it'll probably be a Mazda thrown in every now and again too. At the front end though, BMW versus Audi, almost what we've seen the entire season. And it's now the BMW of Rechard Ruetz. Taylor's in second, and Michael Steven wants to try and put the meat in the sandwich between the 2 BMs.
Yeah, that's not going to be too difficult the way things are going at the moment. Hard on the brakes, look at that. Michael putting pressure. Taylor knows he's there, there's no doubt about it, out of turn 14. And of course that Audi always gets good drive there. But I'll tell you what, on the pace at the moment is Anthony Taylor. He's no mug. He's doing really well at the moment. Rechard Ruetz leading them out, and he found some pace.
He's only got 1 more lap to go though, so it's now or never time for Michael Steven. Look at how Anthony Taylor just pulls away. Steven runs wide a little bit. A little mistake there from Michael Steven, late stage of the race. That could cost him and might just have to hang on for 3rd.
Sean Dermody looks like he's straight out of a Star Wars movie with lots of Klingons.
Yeah, he certainly does. There's no doubt about that. You can see that it's Bonifatti. He's putting the pressure on Tim here on the final lap. Berza seems to have 2nd place wrapped up, but you can never say that. There's Bonifatti, inside line.
He's
That's
got
the
it.
move I thought he was going to do earlier on. He kept it for the last lap, and he has outdone him brilliantly there. Great driving from the youngster. Germany didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but also Dermody didn't turn into him as well, so good driving, Sean.
Amazing driving between the 2. Then he comes straight back at him and goes around the outside. Oh, he's lost the door. He's leaving the door wide open. I think he might be. That ain't right, Sean. What are you up to, pal? Coming around into sunset, the door is wide open. The opportunity is now there for Gennaro Bonifatti. He decides to go around the outside as opposed to taking the open door side. And can he hang on to it? They are now side by side, down the little straight, into the S's. Oh, that's awesome driving. It's one of the best races we've seen all season.
No, it's absolutely fantastic. You're right on the money here. Now, of course, I'm putting bets on the table. Will that door stay on the hinges?
Only just if it does. I think by the time they go down the mine shaft, though, it's about to swing wide open. Anyway, they're into the braking markers for Westbank. He runs a little wide. There goes Bonafide. He's now taken the open door side and said, right, it's all mine. I'm going to take this. Victory is going to go to Richard Roots. Taylor is going to take a really good top three, just ahead of the two Engine Extreme Audis of Michael Stephen and Chop Sapuka.
All right, attention, let's go back to T-Class because here they'll come very shortly. Well, in our picture is Richard Roots, the winner. But here it is. Look at that, Michael von Roy leading him out. The Mazda, Hans Bozet. And just in the background is that other Ford. Well
Gennaro Bonafide's outdone him.
Yeah.
Bonafide's got through for third. That's going to be very good for Bonafide's possible second place in this championship. He's been told that he's got the opportunity now that Famado's out. Berza takes second. Bonafide takes third. Man, one of the best races we've seen between a Ford and a GTI. You see, boys, you can play nicely.
There's the door.
Oh, there it is.
I win.
Somebody get the door. It's on the mine shaft.
Ah, well, somebody left the door open. Unbelievable.
Kyalami marshals will handle that, I'm sure, but an amazing dice, as we said. At the front end of Class A, it was Richard Roots and Anthony Taylor, BMs 1 and 2, Audis 3 and 4, and the first Nissan, Market Acuna, recovered to 5th place.
And setting the fastest lap again, Chop Sapuka in there. Pilot Acuna, Richard Pinnart, Davi Olivier, Melville Priest way back, and Henny Grunewald.
In Class T, Michael van Rooyen, the Team Ford Focus, takes the victory ahead of the Mazda of Hans Bozet, Gennaro Bonafide, Sean Dermody, and Nizam Essa, your top 5.
All right, having a look at the other Mazda, Smallberger, then Graham Nathan way back, Niaz Modek, and then Kieran Quabi got taken out in that mix with late gear as well.
Richard Roots was the man to beat. Let's find out how his day was in the saddle.
That's the one.
A scintillating result for you today.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I must thank Team ADF. They made that Rough Rider BMW fly. But more than anything, I want to dedicate this win to my very good friend Bevan Berthold that passed away recently. Bev, this one's for you, buddy.
You must be absolutely stoked to have a South African champion in your stable. It bodes well for the new year, doesn't it?
Definitely. I think next year is going to be even better than this year.
Richard Roots on top of the podium, but a great dice between him, Anthony Taylor, and Michael Stephen. Looking forward to race 3.
Class T South African champion. Wow, can your grin get any bigger?
I don't think so, and it's just all credit to everybody behind me. I had a great first race. The second race, the car let me down a little bit with regards to a booth problem, but we'll sort it out. No doubt my team will jump in there and sort it out and fix it for me and give me the best they can. Just a great thanks to everybody. One person I always forget to thank is my wife. Deborah, thank you for letting me do what I do. You're the greatest.
Michael van Rooyen, it was just absolutely fantastic. You must be delighted.
Yes, I was. Starting in 4th, it was a close battle for a lap and a half. And I saw a gap, came from 4th to 1st, and I'm absolutely ecstatic. Guys in 2nd and 3rd fought a bit, and I got a chance to get away, so I was absolutely ecstatic.
Did you see any of the carnage that was going on behind you?
I actually saw it next to me, left and right, and then I got away, and then I just looked in front.
For all your racing information on the Westbank Super Series, visit our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za and stay in the loop.
Join us after the break for race 3 and the theme piece coming your way. And for the final time in 2010, we get ready to go to battle. And what a battle it's been so far. An amazing season. And it's come down to this, the final race of 2010 for Bridgestone production cars.
Yeah, we have crisscrossed the country. We've been all over Southern Africa, and we've brought a great package. And the fans have taken it in, and they have loved it. But one last time, we go again.
Yeah, down into turn one, on board with Taylor, and you can see just how busy it gets in this cockpit. He's got cars behind him. It's Davy Olafia. The man in front of him is Michael Stephen and Johan Ferree. And there's nothing in it between these cars. Around the outside, rear-wheel drive, still on slightly cold tires, and he manages to keep the grip. Those Bridgestones are working so well.
Yeah, under pressure. There's Henny Krudeveld out in front. Rather unique. It really is. Chop Sapuka doing well. Ferree is in the mix there. It's going to start to put some pressure on Sapuka in any second now. I can feel it.
I can't believe that Sapuka is running so well. Man, if they could get their car sorted out earlier on in the season, he would have been right up there with Michael Stephen and giving these guys a real run for their money. The Subaru's battling a little bit. Melville Priest also just taking it really, really gingerly compared to what we normally see from him. But back on board with his teammate heading into the S's.
Yeah, of course, the other nice thing, it's nice to have those two De Cunhas out there as well, Marco and Paulo. But really not on the pace at the moment. We look forward to a new year from them as well if they're still in the mix.
2011 is going to be a very exciting season, but it's now down to the wire stuff. And onto the braking markers, still a couple of points up for grabs here. They're not going to catch the man we're on board with, Anthony Taylor, the Atrox BMW, but they do want to maybe just spoil his day and get him further down the grid than what he started on.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to faze him at all. I mean, he's going to have a big grin on his face. He's just going to really take it easy and enjoy himself out there and stay out of trouble. I think that's what I want to do, get the cars back in the garage safely and, not spending too much money.
Fastest man in the second race was Richard Ritz. We're on board the Rough Rider BMW now as we go through 13, heading towards the final corner. He's got the Tim Ken Sass Subaru right on his tail, and then it's the first of the Engine Extreme Audis. And Chop Sapuka, I've got to say, once again, an amazing drive from him. This is what we expect from Chops.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, we all know the boy can drive, and we just got to get the car underneath him. He's had a lot of really, really bad luck in his defence as well. And saying that, so is Johan Ferree. That's been an abysmal season.
Certainly has, and here in the final round, they had to do an engine change between race 2 and 3 again. So Johan Ferree Racing boys have been working double time all season long, and unfortunately they've lost the title. But the race is not done yet. 1 and 2 in Class T have gone through, in fact, third place as well. And here come the rest of the Class T contenders.
Yeah, I said earlier on that a lot of credit has got to go to a lot of the backroom boys, and I'm talking about the mechanics, because they've had to work doubles. Oh, look at that, Kwambi, it's all over.
That's it.
Dear.
End of the season for Kirim Kwambi. He'll pocket on the side, but we know that he has got race pace in him, and we've also seen him take some victories. So the potential for next season is definitely there. As we see Michelle Singh, he's out there in that BMW. Great to see a new car. It's been around a while and come on various occasions, but here at the final round, battling with the GTIs.
Well, I think the last time, and we saw him in the very first race at Kyalami when we started off the 2010 season, and I think we're only seeing him again in the very last race. So he loves Kyalami.
And the Cape Town boys are loving each other at the moment because it's about all three of them at this stage. And the two Mazdas right with each other. Good to see Smallberger with a much better run this time. But good to see Essa, Levy and Modak and the three GTIs behind Michelle Singh. Oh man, have we got a battle on there and a little bit of body rub, I think, also off that front bumper on that Bridgestone. That could be a bit of a worry for Modak, because if that body work keeps rubbing, there could be a possibility of a puncture.
Yeah, coming back to Smallberger, we've had a great chance to chat to him throughout the season. What a really nice guy, and he's also, the Mazda team has just had so much bad luck, but now they're starting to find something here, and leading out, of course, is Heinz Bose. So we wish them the best of luck, and hopefully they are still in the mix for the 2011 season.
Up to the top of the hill, and pressure being put on here from Henny G and from Chop Sapuka. Fury's lost out there. He's dropped one back. He's now the sandwich between those two engine extremes. And, well, Henny Krunewald, I think, will also be a bit concerned because Sapuka has definitely found really what it takes. He's put in a 1:53.4, fastest lap so far of the race, and he is on for a possibility of even outdoing Richard Ritz for the win.
Yeah, Henny's been quick most of the weekend, so the other guys are really coming to the party. I mean, Henny has actually set the standard. One of the other surprises was Richard Ritz as well, and he was very quick most of the weekend, and we're on shot with him right now. Chops
has a big look on the inside. Just lets Henny Krunewald know that he's there, but I'm sure Henny knows. All-wheel drive versus Quattro into the final braking markers of the last turn. And look how close they get. There's a little nudge. Yes, indeed. Rubbings Racing coming into effect there.
You could put jam on that. I was so close.
I think so. There's no doubt about it. Cross the line, completing another lap. Ritz leads. Krunewald in second. Then it's Chops. Johan Ferree. And the first of the BMWs there, Anthony Taylor, just taking it very easy.
He's just enjoying it, and that's what we said. He's got nothing to prove. He doesn't have to. Gets the #1 tag on the BMW for next season. Of course, they're going to be working on those cars as well. I think it's just going to be a great season, 2011. All right, back to the action. Ruud's leading it out at the moment and still in the mix. Back to Class T.
Front of Class T.
Yeah, Graham Nathan. Well, big smiles. We heard it, and he's just got to take it nice and easy. Gennaro Bonafide, and it's what he's got to do. I mean, it's all about the second place for Gennaro.
He's got to win. He's got to win this race. If he takes the victory, because Formato didn't start this last race, there's a possibility of a 1-2 for Volkswagen and for the GTIs, and of course for Nathan's Motorsport. So if Gennaro can get ahead of his teammate and maybe a bit of team tactics will come into play at the end of the race, we'll have to wait and see if Graham's going to line through.
I don't know if I got my calculations right, but I think down to a point, and I could be a point out, but I think I didn't realize that he actually had to win this race. I felt that he could have still, because Formato didn't start this race, could have still finished second and got the second place champion.
I think he's got to take the victory. That's what we had to look at. Here's Michelle Singh, and this is a great dance between him and Essa. He's not lying that man through, and it's good to see. As I said, development on that BMW has been happening all season long, and it looks like it's starting to pay off. Remember, it's a diesel-powered machine, so in the force-inducted class, definitely a welcome entity, there's no doubt about it. And I'm sure BMW will be having a look at that going, maybe there's an option for us.
Yeah, Van Rooyen's got 2 GTIs ahead of him, plus that BMW, the diesel, as you were talking about, and that's what he's going to be focused on, getting through that. Oh, look at this, Jan Free all over the back of Chop Sabuka. Chop's just really keeping it quite defensive and really driving smoothly, and he's found pace. And if Chops has got the pace, I mean, we will know that he can drive that car. Johan Faree's going to have really battle to get past him.
Hopefully Faree's engine's going to hang tight this time as well. Remember, it's a brand new engine in that car. Hopefully they've done all the screws and tightened all the nuts that need to be tightened. Seems like it's working, and he's putting the pressure onto Sapuka. Sapuka soaking it up, though, and making it look like an absolutely easy run for the money here. The front end, it's Richard Roots. I don't know if they got the pace to run with him, but right now he's starting to pull a bit of way as the Engine Extreme Audi maintains some good pace, climbs on the back end of Groenewald. Groenewald came out of Westbank very slow there. There's a problem on that car. He comes side by side. Sapuka looks across and goes, what happened? He actually looked across at Henny Groenewald. He didn't even know what was going wrong there, but Groenewald definitely falling into the clutches now. Faree into the Super Bowl, and Faree also outguns and does the Subaru on the inside.
Yeah, is there a problem, though? Is there a problem on that Timken Subaru?
Looks certainly to me that there is one, because he's now into the clutches of another Audi. So Henny must be thinking to himself, man, I can't go 3 for 3 here. 3 quarters and 3 different Audis, and it's exactly what's going to happen as Michael Stevens shoves it up the inside and maintains that position and retakes it ahead of Henny Groenewald.
Yeah, I don't know whether the car's overheating. It could be another problem. We're not quite sure. It could have been a gear change, or maybe it's missed a gear or lost a gear. You know, there's so much that can go on with these cars. I mean, they really are dynamic pieces of machinery, and of course the back boys, the mechanics, really have to work hard to keep them on the grid and competitive all the time.
He's also lost out there, you can see, to the BMW, so there's definitely a problem on Henny Groenewald's car. He's falling by the wayside here, and that's a big pity, because he had really nice pace. We saw him on pole position for qualifying. He went well in the first race, and now just falling sadly behind.
Yeah, looking at Chops, he's putting in some really good lap times at the moment. Could actually pull away with the fastest lap in this race again. Really on the money this weekend. Great to see that, Greg, isn't it?
Fantastic. So these two, look at this. The battle continues. Oh, we're going to go 5 abreast again, or 6 abreast maybe, because Levy's there. So is the Mazda. Here comes Esther, Michelle Singh, Modak. Uh-oh, seconds out, round number 2.
Oh, the only thing missing in there is Sean Duminy.
Yeah, but don't worry, we've got Van Rooyen, so that's okay. Michael Van Rooyen, the Rustenburg Rocket, will definitely be in the mix if there's going to be a little bit of bumping and barging. The Ford Focus leading out ahead of the GTI. Then it's the Mazda. Then another GTI. Then a turbo diesel BMW. Behind him comes the third of the GTIs. This is what we love to see. 6 cars and nothing in it between them.
A lot of our viewers may be quite concerned to see that BMW smoking, but because it's a diesel, that just means it's running really healthy.
It's running healthy, but didn't get good drive out of Clubhouse Corner, and Modak actually outdid him going into the S's. Now we're going to see his compatriot in the other GTI trying to outdo Van Rooyen. Michael Van Rooyen, Abraham Levy. This is a great little battle between these two guys. And still a long way to go, and lots of action still to come. Oh, I say that Levy slows. Levy slows coming out of Westbank. Quite sure what went wrong there, but yeah, commentators goes on my side.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Sorry, Abraham.
One.
Whoa, late braking from Van Rooyen.
Rubber burning there.
And it looks like he may have run a little wide by the sounds of things. Hopefully he kept it all together. Here's the battle up front, and I don't think it's really a battle. I think the two of them are just going out there and doing some formation flying for Nathan's Motorsport. But Bonafide has to get past Graham, and I think Graham knows that. It's going to be a matter of time before he lets him through. He'll probably just wave him through and say, right, let's make this a 1-2 for GTIs and for Volkswagen.
Oh, and Nathan Motorsport.
Up in the 3, Bonafide, very, very smooth driving, right on the tailpiece. And the two of them go flying down the old back straight and into Sunset Corner. Graham hasn't given up just yet. He wants a little bit more time at the front end.
Well, you've got me intrigued right now at the moment, Greg. I mean, because, I didn't see that coming. I just felt that he could have actually just stood there and walked off with second place. But whether Graham's going to allow that, who knows? I mean, it's racing after all, isn't it?
Michelle Singh and the 45 car out. Unfortunately, Ibrahim Levy having to park his Azran GTI. And the diesel BM is out, so bit of a pity there for him.
You mean the healthy one?
Yeah, the healthy-looking one doesn't look so healthy now, does it, Steve? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Into the Class A's, and at the front end, only a couple of laps to go for these guys. The battle still continues between the Audis and BMW in the fifth place position there.
On board Michael Stephen and all over Johan Ferrari at the moment. I'll tell you what, one man that we haven't mentioned a lot, which is rather surprising because often he's up there and competing, is Melville Priest.
Melville Priest having a... Oh, as we say that, there goes a BM into the pits. We should just stop talking about it. Every car we mention goes into the pit lane.
I think it's Taylor, though.
Yeah, Taylor's in, so Taylor goes into pit lane there, and Melville Priest will complete the race, but hopefully a little bit higher up than he did over the last couple of sprint races. Now as they cross the line, it is Audis 2, 3, and 4. Front end is still Richard Rutz, though.
Yeah, of course, when you get these two together, and we've seen a lot of ding-dong battles between Michael Stephen and Johan Ferrari.
Oh, here we go again. Muscle, here I come on the inside. PE versus Cape Town, and PE wins out. Cape Town comes along. Oh, Ferrari comes straight back at him, though.
Come back at him.
Ferrari's not going to let this one go. Good driving from the two of them.
Neck and neck. There's not much in it at all, is there? I'll tell you what, he's actually probably got a little bit more power for it. Oh, but I'll tell you what, Michael Stephen's got the line.
Wing mirror to wing mirror.
Oh, is it through there?
Amazing stuff through Sunset. Now heading to Clubhouse. Stephen's got the inside line. He's going to maintain that defensive line. Look at Ferrari bust wide and try and get the apex late so he can get a better drive. Didn't really pay off for him because he lost out a little bit of corner speed as Michael Stephen just held off a little bit through the corner, slowed Ferrari down. He couldn't get on the power. Now they go through the S's. And that's good driving from the two of them.
Back to Class T. Michael van Rooyen is still leading them out and in control at the moment.
For third place, yeah.
Yeah, for third place. You're quite right.
So Michael van Rooyen. Then we've got the Mazda of Smallberger. That's Essa behind him, the Azran GTI, and then Modak. Oh, there's Taylor. Is that a puncture? Oh, no, that's such a way to end the season. You don't want to do that. But, of course, Anthony Taylor didn't have to really finish up. He will get back out and finish the race, but he's probably going to be a couple of laps down now.
All right, the action on our focus from our TV point of view is, of course, in second, or rather third, fourth, and fifth at the moment. That battle in the front, still is Nathan and Gennaro Bonifati way ahead. So here it is, Michael van Rooyen. There's the Mazda of Bose. There's Essa in the mix as well. So we've got the GTR, we've got the Mazda, and we've got the Ford.
1.5 laps to go for Ferrari, and he's now under a bit of pressure. You can see it's actually falling into the wayside here, just like Eddie Grunewald has. And actually the quickest of these three cars is Marco Acuna. Let's see if Acuna can sneak through and maybe get ahead.
Yeah, he's been conspicuous by his absence most of the racing today, but anyway, nice to see him in the mix.
He's had a couple of mistakes here and there and run wide after a little incident between himself and the man in front of him now. So he'll be a bit wary about coming up onto Johnny Fury, and I would be wary any time coming up onto Jan Ferrari.
All right, so into the bowl, I think it is, they go, and it's still Michael Stevie leading it out at the moment. Ferrari, and then it's Acuna, and then Henny Grunewald. Hasn't had it all his own way today, of course, for Henny, but he'll be back.
Up and down day for him, eh?
Yeah, he'll persevere.
Victory in the first race, and now falling by the way. Yeah, we go. There's the move. Acuna looks on the inside. Ferrari saw him coming, though. Was very late on the brakes. Just maintain that position. Hopefully he can finish up. This is the battle for fourth. And let's see if Acuna can maybe find a late bit of surge in the final lap.
Well, these two drivers that we're watching at the moment are going to be coming in with different packages and different cars for a brand new season. So what to expect, I think it's going to be interesting.
Here comes Acuna. Can he get up on the inside of Ferrari? He has a look. He's got... Oh, Ferrari goes very defensive. Cuts his nose off to spite his face. Acuna had to back out of that one to try and find another way past there, Marco. I don't think he'll be too happy about that move. Ferrari was very hard and very late, and then just cut him off completely.
Well, I think you just answered the question. He's not happy about it. He's going to have to come in and have another go. It's going to be like one of those little terriers at your ankles.
Exactly that. Here comes the 350Z on the Audi A4 Quattro. out of Sunset, down towards Clubhouse. This is where he'll have a go. See if he pulls out at the last minute. No, Faree just keeps it very on the inside line there. Defensive as anything. And a good cutback.
Brilliant.
Great cutback there from Acuna. Can he make it stick? Side by side, down towards the S's. Who's got what it takes on the brakes? Both braked exactly the same time, and they go through side by side. Awesome driving. This is the way we like to end off a great season.
Yeah, you know, Faree's clever, and when he knew he had the right line, I mean, Acuna had him on 2 corners, but he knew to come out of that, he was in the right place. He's going to have another go at him again. Look at this.
You just love the brake check there from Johan Faree going up on the Westbank. Just tap the brake slightly.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't going to brake here. I'm going to brake here. So, good driving from Acuna. He came out of it completely and said, no, I'm not even going to fall for that. I'm going to get you in the bowl. Here we go. Down the mine shaft. Westbank mine shaft. Into the sweep. This is Acuna. On his outside. Look out for that orange and white Indio Audi. Is he going to have the line going into the bowl, or are we going to see yellow flags are waving? So we cannot see an overtaking maneuver here because there were yellow flags waving there for whatever reason. But as they come out of the bowl, you can see Acuna had to back out of that. He could not make it stick there. He's going to try and drive around the outside as the BMW is going to come through to take the checkered flag. And the Engine Extreme Audi is going to come through in second. Fireworks go off at the final round at Kyalami.
Yeah, Pyrotechnics lighting up Kyalami for the last time this season.
Has the Acuna got through? He has. He's got the Audi on the last corner. Johan Faree loses out in the final corner of the season. That is awesome stuff.
Gennaro Bonifini, well, you called it, Greg. I think that he has allowed him to go through. I don't think that I was a racing, you know, let me go past you, I'm going to take it. I think Graham Nathan has allowed him to go through. So, not bad for the team. I think that's the right decision for the team.
A man we haven't seen all race, Sean Duminy, a lone third-place ride, all on his own, but he's now right up there with the GTRs. They're going to come through for some formation flying for Nathan's Motorsport. It's going to be GTRs 1 and 2 in the Class T Championship. And fireworks once again for the final round of Bridgestone production cars.
Yeah, look at that. And Sean Duminy's got a spare door on there. That's fantastic.
They found one somewhere. I think they picked it up off the top of the mine shaft. Anyway, final round of Bridgestone production cars is now done and dusted. An amazing season of racing sees that man take Class T's championship. Nathan is going to be very happy with that. But let's give you confirmation. Rako Duits takes a Chop Sapuka, an amazing last race. Michael Stephen, his teammate, in third. Acuna in fourth. And won out his battle with Johan Faree.
All right, further down, it's Henny Groenewald, Paulo Acuna, and the other Tubular Tech, Nissan, Melville Priest, Anthony Taylor, and Richard Pennard.
Class T goes to Gennaro Bonifini, Graham Nathan in second, Germany in third, Berzer with another nice finish for the MFC Mazda, and Michael van Rooyen in fifth in the second four.
All right, and as we carry on with the results, Niaz Modak, George Smallberger, and Nizam Essa.
Final celebrations will go to the Rough Rider BMW, but look at that, Engine Extreme Audis, either side of him on the podium.
Gennaro Bonifini, I've got to ask you, did Graham allow you to go past?
No, I don't think he did. I think he went out flat out as we can go. I tried to follow him as much as I could. I was pushing very, very hard. And then, you know, I think 5 laps from the end, he pulled over, and I think, I don't know what went on. Then he was, all of a sudden, he was like 10 seconds back. And I thought, okay, well, what's going on? Half a lap later, and I felt my tires going, and I thought, oh, no. Something's going wrong here. And then eventually, I managed to hold it off. I mean, I think it must be the Volkswagen. You know, it's got to be a Golf. You know, I'm elated. I promise you, I'm just ecstatic. I never expected this, and a big thank you to everybody. It really...
You were dominant, and I think you certainly deserved it, and well done.
Thank you very much. I must just tell you, I've got 3 brilliant drivers in my team. Gennaro did a superb job. He knew he had a whole bunch of pressure on his head today. I managed to go into the last race. Unfortunately, Gary had a failure with the title wrapped up, and he had to do very, very well. Pushed me really hard. I started to hurt the motor car a little bit, and I let him through to try and have a go at him later on in the champion or in the race. But we had to keep Sean behind us, and he was doing a great job as well. But all-round great job. We got away with unscathed, no damage, no major damage at all, and I'm over the moon.
GTIs 1, 2, and Ford in third place. Kind of how the championship also got wrapped up, but a great season nonetheless. There is confirmation of the final point standings. Anthony Taylor, your Class A champion, ahead of his teammate Melville Priest. Michael Stephen won out the battle with the Audis, and Henny Groenewald the top Subaru.
So, point standing in Class T was South African champion Graham Nathan will wear that #1 plate. Quite a substantial win too. Gennaro Bonifini in second, and Gary Famato disappointing end of the season in third.
Manufacturers dominated by Volkswagen, BMW in second place, Ford and Audi in the top 5 brought up there with the Nissan team.
So, Greg, we're closing on 2010 season. It's been brilliant.
It's been an amazing season. If you want to catch all the action from the season, get the information. Send an email through to info@digitalforces.co.za for a DVD box set. And for more information on the Westbank Super Series for 2011, log on to their website, westbanksuperseries.co.za.
That's a wrap of the Bridgestone production cars. Next up is the Engine Volkswagen Cup, as well as the Interfile Super Sports. I'm Gugu. See you next time.